Live? All right, awesome. Hey, what's up, Twisters? We've got the Ottawa Senators and the Buffalo Sabres going head-to-head tonight, with the Buffalo Sabres riding a 6-game win streak, and Ottawa not doing too bad themselves. They're on a 4-game winning streak, right there in the thick of things in the wild card race, and the Sabres have actually made their way back into that conversation. So it's going to be interesting to see which team can keep its winning streak going, and to see, especially in Buffalo's case given the fact that they've changed general managers, if they can actually build even more momentum off of this. So welcome, Merry Twistmas to all of you, season's greetings, and hopefully we have ourselves a fantastic evening. And there is no such thing as a fantastic evening on this channel without my co-host, Cortana. Cortana, you want to come say hi? Actually, you're already on camera, but we'll give you a treat. And Cortana here will be getting treats every time there's a goal and every time there's a super chat. So, I mean, if you're in the giving mood, now trust me, I'm done with shopping. But you can always support the channel with the super chat. Hey, Cortana, you want to come say hi? That's a good girl. And of course, guys, let me know what your score prediction is for tonight. I'm thinking here, I mean, Sabres are playing some great hockey, but the Sens have been putting it together, albeit more on the quiet side of things. I'm going to go for Ottawa in this case. They are the home team. I think it'll be a pretty good game. I'll say that they take this one by a score of 4-2. You guys let me know what you think the score is going to be down in the comments. Cortana, can we assume the position, get back to your bed? Here, girl. Here. Why don't you come over here? Go to your bed. Whoop. There you go. Okay. Ethan, what's going on, man? Good evening to you. Hey, girl. Now she wants to go have it over there off camera. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us here. Of course, thank you for your support as always, and hopefully the Islanders can, keep things rolling on their end too, as they're right in the thick of the playoff conversation. We're also going to try streaming this on Instagram. I forgot to actually hit go live on there. That should probably work. All right. So we are live on Instagram. We are live on X. We are live on stage, baby. Cheers to you, everybody. Merry Twistmas, and hopefully you have a great holiday season ahead here, or holiday week, I guess, and a great start to 2026. All right. 15 different players with points in their 4-game winning streak. Is that what I'm seeing there? Well, anyway, if you're curious to know how the top performers are going for these two teams, no surprise, really, but you've got Tim Stützle at over a point per game, 17 goals and 21 assists. Drake Batherson, really good season for him. 14 goals, 21 helpers. And their top defenseman is Whitefish, Montana native Jake Sanderson with 7 goals and 19 assists. And to some, he'll be perhaps maybe not quite a finalist for the Norris Trophy, but he should be in the conversation for that. Then we've also got, for the Buffalo Sabres, Tage Thompson. Not a big surprise there. He's got 18 goals and 14 assists. We've got Alex Tuck, who has been kind of in those conversations for trade rumors and such. He's rocking 11 goals and 18 assists to kind of boost his stock. Rasmus Dahlin is the leading scoring defenseman on Buffalo. No shocker there either. 4 goals and 28 assists to be at a point per game. He's missed a few games, so he's at that point per game pace. We'll have to see who the goaltenders are. I haven't actually figured out who that's going to be. I didn't look at that. I got my cheat sheet roster right here. Play by play. I don't know if we'll really be doing that tonight, but we should, at least be hanging out and keeping a tab on some of the other games that are happening tonight. And so for that reason, everybody, check this out. I've got a score ticker at the bottom, and hopefully I can keep that updated throughout the evening. We already had one game go final, by the way, and that was the Toronto Maple Leafs. I got to actually update this, but the Leafs pulled away in the third period in a game that they seriously needed, and they won by a 6-3 score over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we've also got a goal early on in our contest between the Red Wings and the Stars. Detroit is up 1-0 on a goal from, I can't believe he's still in the league, but James Van Riemsdyk for Detroit. We've got Kazuma Tempest. Howdy, howdy. Merry Twistmas to you. Imagine if the Sabres made the playoffs over the Leafs. Dangle rant would be epic. I did not think about that, but you know what? You make a great point. That would be grade A entertainment. Yeah, Leafs had been on quite a skid, but nice bounce back victory for them. And they beat the Penguins. I do want to congratulate, of course, Sidney Crosby for becoming the Penguins' all-time leading scorer, now ahead of the legend Mario Lemieux. So right now they're doing anthems. And this game, by the way, is being played in Ottawa. Okay, yeah, I was confirming your profile picture there, Kazuma, because the Panthers. Oh boy, that was a hell of a comeback they had against the Hurricanes. I mean, I liking the Hurricanes even more, was upset at the result there, but that was a hell of a comeback, battling back from 3-0 and doing most of that pretty late in the game too. Hopefully, Cats can win tonight. I don't think Jaws can take another loss. I mean, they've been rolling decently recently, haven't they? I think they lost their last game, but I mean, I'd say it probably looks a little bit better than it did, about 3 weeks ago. We got Christian in the building. Hello, how are we doing today? Hey, I'm great, man. I mean, Christmas is right here. I'm really looking forward to doing some gift giving. Nothing extravagant in this case, but I had a fun time shopping. It had been a while. We've got Lautaro jumping in here. Happy Tuesday and happy holidays from the hot south of the map. Yeah. How hot is it over there? I mean, let's see here. You're very south of the equator, so I don't know. I guess if you were at the tip of South America, it would be still like it would be probably very pleasant, but yeah, it's probably quite warm still where you are. That boggles my mind. Like I didn't think about that until a few months ago. It's like, oh yeah, there are millions and millions of people who enjoy Christmas, and it's hot as balls. Or actually, there are billions of people considering so many people are in like Southeast Asia, right? So it's not like a snowy holiday for all that many people in the world. Surprised at how well San Jose is doing. Do I think they can make a deep run? Well, right now it looks like they could still legitimately get their way into the playoffs. I still think that Winnipeg, when we look at the playoff race, I think that the Jets should still find themselves at least in a wild card spot to finish out the season. So I think the Sharks might be like they might be the ninth best team in that conference when all is said and done. And some people have said that like Macklin has been getting a lot of puck luck. I don't think so. I look at last year; he had a lot working against him. He was getting very unlucky with all the chances he had generated. He's actually just capitalizing on that this year. So, um, and also I think that the goaltending has to be playing a little bit more like it did about a month ago. It hasn't been horrible recently, but it's fallen back down to earth a bit. So I think that would help keep them in it. But still, the product is a lot more surprising these days in a good way. Damn Penguins, they fell hard from the beginning of the season to now. I mean, it's crazy to see how many other teams are still competing for a spot this late in the year from the East, but I'm not too surprised. I think that some of that has to do with a bit of defensively, they just haven't been a sharp club, and uh, I do like Ben Kindle quite a bit. I think he's been a bright spot, and I think that that's kind of one thing that you have to take away from this season. It's not like you're just gonna, have absolutely no young talent at all. You'll have to play McGroarty more too. But I can't say that I'm baffled at the results of that, especially when they can't hold leads in the third period. That game against the Sharks, for example, or against Utah the next day. So yeah, just FYI, we're underway here with Sabres and Senators, and then if you guys see any score updates, let me know, and I'll be sure to update my score tracker here. Let's go, Islanders. Hopefully, this is our year. Your year for what? Sorokin's been pretty good, though, right? I mean, hey, in the Metropolitan Division, you've got a shot, right? I mean, the team that I'm even more impressed with from that division this year is Philadelphia. Every time I watch them, they're a pain in the butt to compete against. So I got to give them a lot of credit there. Rick Tocchet and Trevor Zegras having a great year. Oh, big save! Now Olmark is in tonight for the Senators, and they're wearing their alternate uniforms, which are, I don't know, a little hit or miss, but not terrible. Miracles do happen, just not to us. 28 months, so 2 years and 4 months. Right on, man. Starting to think the Penguins lost that trade poor Skinner. Well, I know that Jari's on the IR right now, but did Skinner get injured? What happened there? Or are you just saying poor Skinner, like he just can't seem to have any luck out there? I mean, the Oilers would, even if it's not, it's just I've seen Skinner in those elimination games and like at the end of like the 24 runs, you can just tell they're not going to win a cup with him. It's not all his fault, but there's better talent to be had in goal. 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. That's about 95. Yeah, it sounds about right. Wow. I'm very thankful that here it's closer to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a lot cooler. Bad luck for Stuart Skinner. Well, at the end of the day, I'd rather be playing on a Penguins team where nothing is expected versus playing for the Oilers, right? Where it's a lot more cutthroat in a sense. The media market there is more intense. All right, just the first 2.5 gone by, FYI. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just start looking at the other scores out there because we have what? We have Stars and Red Wings, Capitals and Rangers, Canadiens and Bruins, Devils and Islanders. Yeah, there's a team that's been disappointing. That's New Jersey, but kind of like you just can't really give them a grade on their report card until they actually have a healthy roster. But Jack Hughes is back, so that helps. And we've got Panthers and Hurricanes as well. So we've got 5 other games at the same time. And there are some good late ones as well. You got Mammoth and Avalanche could be decent. Battle of Alberta. Sharks going into Vegas. Hey, what's up, Ethan? Happy holidays. Merry Twistmas to you. At least he won't have death threats in Pittsburgh. Nah. In a year like this, I think every player there should be safe in that sense. So that's good. I mean, they should always be, but especially when nothing's really, the expectations aren't Stanley Cup. But yeah, I hope that you guys have some fun stuff lined up for even if it's not Thursday for the next few days. That'd be awesome. I'm just going to be hanging out here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanksgiving I didn't travel, but I was actually out of town. Excuse me, I was out of town last month, so it's good to not have to like really travel for the holidays. Maybe I might go on a short road trip where Mrs. Twister's grandma lives, but that's about it. Yep, to all of you out there, thank you for, of course, tuning in during the holidays, and I hope that that you guys are with the people who mean the most to you. So, you're 20 years old on December 14th. Cool. My buddy from high school, he was born on December 14th, and our friend's baby. So in other words, I'm talking now a friend of a friend who's also like my best friend. Yeah, his baby was also born on December 14th. So happy belated birthday, and 20 years old. All right, man. You got one more year to go till the fun really begins. Any thoughts on the Chiefs move from Missouri to Kansas? We got Dustin Dalk as well. Yeah, I'll answer that in just 1 second, Leftaro. Longtime subscriber, first time getting a chance to tune in. Oh, really? Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us here. I'm just trying to look at your profile picture. That's not. Who's your profile of? It's not. I don't know. Just from a distance, I'm like, it almost seems like Jonathan Davis from Korn, just lighter hair. So it's probably not him. Thanks so much. It's great to have you around. I appreciate you jumping in here and saying hi. But yeah, we got Derek in the building too. Hey, Derek, Merry Twistmas to you. Bob allowing an easy goal to the Hurricanes. Well, that's okay. It's not the third period yet. I'll take it. So Hurricanes take a 1-0 lead on the Florida Panthers. So yeah, so Lautaro, you asked my thoughts on Kansas, on the Chiefs moving from Kansas City, the Missouri side, to the Kansas side. I think it's cool that Kansas actually gets its first professional sports team, right? I think it's the first time there's been a professional team in the state of Kansas. It's a big college basketball state. But I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about that, but I would think that it's probably a little bit more affordable to build the stadium out there. I just don't know what they're going to do in terms of like funding this with taxpayer money, because there are probably a bunch of people who live on the Kansas side who are thinking, wait, when was this decided? Like, why weren't we a part of that? So I guess that's kind of the biggest flag that I have to raise. Oh, is that Lane in your? That's Lane. Oh my gosh, Alice is one of my favorite bands too. But for some reason, I'm used to seeing like the shorter hair Lane with the sunglasses. But yeah, I love Alice in Chains. I never got to see them live, even with I think his name's William Duvall. Not true technically because MLS. Oh, that's right. They play in a suburb, right? Sporting KC. You would know Darkness. I know that. I forgot about that. Well, there you go. They can support a professional team out there. I mean, it's the Kansas City Metro isn't huge, so people from the Missouri side should be able to get over to the games, I think, fairly easily. Here come the Leafs, by the way. Yeah, Toronto. They got off the schneid with a good third period tonight, so good for them. I mean, man, if they miss the playoffs, I mean, that would be just catastrophic for them, wouldn't it? I wonder if the current Chiefs fans will still. Oh, sorry. If the current Chiefs fans will still support the team. Um, I would say that as long as the team can give the fans a roadmap for how they're going to turn things around, considering it's been their first down year in over a decade. So in terms of loyalty, I don't think there's any issue with that. They're going to draw tons of people to the new stadium. I think that they're going to be still riding the success of the last decade essentially for quite a while. So I don't think that's going to be a concern anytime soon. I mean, it's not like how like the Bears were thinking about moving to the West Chicago suburbs or moving to even to Indiana. They're starting to consider that. We're in a commercial break, by the way. Like, I actually worked for the Chicago Fire, who played in a suburb of the city, but all the other teams were in the city. So it was really difficult for us to actually consistently draw fans because so many of the people that we wanted to come to the games were in the city itself. And they said, well, I mean, I can just take a short train ride and I'm watching the Cubs or the White Sox or the Bears or Blackhawks or Bulls. And so we were competing with all those teams. And because we were in the suburbs, like I said, we on our worst nights, our stadium would only be about 60% full. By the way, Josh Norris is being honored by the Senators, and he's getting a standing O. I got my O jersey on here. Former San Jose Sharks draft pick Josh Norris. There we go. Here in Southern Missouri, a lot of people are mad about the state switch. Really? Oh, really? Huh. Maybe well, I don't really know the Metro KC area. I know like Southern Missouri. I've been through Joplin, just Route 66. But Yeah, I just wouldn't think that there would be as big of a deal around it because it's not like it's going to take more than another 15 or 20 minutes. But I guess if you're driving a far distance, it's like you're already planning and dedicating so much of your time and money to that. So I guess that's fair. But well, then Kansas City, Missouri, the only sports team they'll have then in that city is what the Royals in that case. So I kind of see where the frustration would be. It's not like they're moving that far. Yeah, see, that's what my would be. Cade, we got Cade in the building. Hey, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in, and of course, Merry Twistmas. As a lifelong football fan, for Americans, I never understood the concept of switching states. If that happens, fans would riot. Well, I mean, some board like in the case of Kansas City. I mean, the border is the city, but there's a difference. But I think there's kind of a difference between that and like if you live in one part of New York City and like the Giants and the Jets move to East Rutherford, New Jersey. I don't really know how far that is, but that seems like quite a way. I'm more interested in how this signals the Royals eventually moving to the Kansas side. Yeah, Kauffman Stadium has been around for quite some time. I don't know if there are any plans to build a new stadium anytime immediately. All right, still scoreless here. This came from Instagram. Oh, what's up, Vanessa? Hey. Well, our teams are battling tonight. Seems like the Knights. They always do a really good job for the most part, weathering the storm with their injuries. They still stay very competitive, even if they have some of their big names out of the lineup. So they're still looking pretty sharp. And I don't know if I can see the Ducks putting up a fight for the division. Probably not the Kings, but the Oilers. I mean, they're catching up. They're catching up, and they had a good win against Vegas recently too. I mean, I'm not all that surprised that Edmonton's actually doing well now. But for the Sabres, apparently the second half of the year has already started because they've rattled off 6 straight. They've got 6 shots on goal here through the first half of the period. And I might need to turn my heater down. It's a little toasty in here. But yeah, what's everybody doing for Christmas and for the holidays? Cadet Dalton. Why did I say Cade? I'm sorry if I screwed that up earlier. I don't know how that would happen. Cadet Dalton, yeah. Well, Duncan, I appreciate you joining here. For some reason, I thought it said Cade Dalton or Cade Duncan or something. That like I looked at your username wrong. Senior moment, really. I wake up uber early Christmas morning. That's what I like to see. You know, when you were a kid, I don't know. Hey, some people they have different backgrounds. Totally understand, but I was very fortunate to be able to wake up Christmas morning, and my parents they pulled out all of the stops with fun surprises, and I hope to do that one day too if I have kids. But that's cool. But, I mean, waking up early Christmas morning, a lot of the time I still like doing that, even if I don't like rip into presents. I just like I don't know turning on a movie in the background or something, and you know starting the party nice and early too. Going to Jacksonville to see your family. All right, Duval, go Jags. I'm happy to see Jacksonville doing pretty well. I've never been there myself. I don't know anything about Jacksonville other than the Jaguars and Limp Bizkit, but awesome. Going to Tampa. Okay, so we're staying in Sunshine State here. And Epic Universe in Orlando. Nice. I like that. Klutz. Yeah, that's right. I mean, sometimes people have different usernames depending on what platform they're on, and I can't really follow it. But yeah, that I can remember. I'll give my best effort. Before sunrise early. Wow. Well, what do you do? Do you have like a ritual, a tradition? This is a great place to discuss this. I think. Uh, Bustin Jalk says staying home for Christmas, but heading up for two Blues games on the second and the third. Nice. So what's that like? About a 3.5 hour drive or something like that. Oh, wait, you got to drive. You got to drive diagonally. Okay, maybe that's a little bit more. Yeah. Even the slightest change of crest or logo is a cause for riot. To give an example, I can understand because at least with I have very limited soccer knowledge, but a lot of these clubs are from 130 years ago, so you don't want to change the tradition too much, right? I find as I got older, I don't enjoy Christmas as much. I mean, it's a different experience when I mean, depends, I guess, on on age and who's around you and whatnot. But yeah, like when I was here, when I moved to Idaho during COVID, I had nobody to celebrate it with, so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna drink beer and put on some music and clean the house or something. The fact that your adrenaline is so pumped that I kind of can't sleep for a long period of time, and I have to see if Santa comes. It's called Operation Kringle. I love that. That's fun, and that's great when you have whether that's other family members to share that with, or for people who have kids. I mean, I would love to channel that to you know to a couple of youngsters one day. That'd be pretty awesome. 3 to 4 hours, not counting fun stops. Which would also open a great conversation. What are the best snacks for road trips? I'm here until Christmas morning and going back home to unbox presents. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Most soccer clubs are owned by fans. Really? Well, like not Major League Soccer, right? There isn't like a Green Bay Packers of Major League Soccer. But yeah, like soccer, it's crazy because you have like dedicated fan organizations. You have ultras and supporters, and yeah. I woke up at 4 in the morning last year. I fell asleep at 6 and slept until 7. So you didn't see the sunrise. Excuse me. Probably my favorite memory was when I was 11, and the day before, I found out that my parents were taking my sister and me to Disneyland because we lived like a 6-hour drive away, and so I probably could not sleep that night at all. And it's like your two favorite things. It's like I used to love going to Disneyland as a kid, and then it's the best day of the year, right? Christmas is going to be quiet. Luckily, it was just raining, which might bring the temperature down. Nice. The limited sale of fireworks and reduced use due to pet safety concerns will also make for a more peaceful evening. Now, I, having a dog myself, I can get pretty annoyed by fireworks as well, honestly. I mean, if there's a couple days out of the year where everybody does it, okay. But I live like I've got elk in my backyard and deer in my backyard, and we have moose roaming around town sometimes, and we have all kinds of animals. And it's like, dude, imagine if you were born a deer. Would you want to hear that? Probably not. But if it's a couple days out of the year and everybody's doing it, that's fine. Other than that, I don't want to hear it. Speaking of dogs, how was Cortana? You know what? She's really good. Let's. Boom. There she is. There she is. Yeah. So Cortana, she turns 12 years old next month, and yeah, she's been doing really well. I mean, she'll still play plenty, and she likes to harass me and Mrs. Twister for for snacks. So yeah, she's doing great. Even some of the gray on her muzzle it's not getting any grayer. She almost kind of stopped aging. She's done really well. Thank you for asking. With Real Madrid and I gotta say it pretentiously, Barcelona, fans elect the president. So any change that the president wants to do must go through the fans. Really? That's interesting. Even for like players that are going to be traded and signed, like free agents. Fust Angelic says, just got a new kitten, so I'm very grateful to not have to deal with the fireworks. Right on. Speaking of cats, let's see if we can get Inari to come hang out with us. We got Mrs. Kitty. Mrs. Kitty. I don't know. Maybe she'll show up. We've got 6 minutes left in the period, by the way, and still scoreless. Your friend's cat hates fireworks. Every New Year hides in the bathroom. Yeah, I dealt with that with Cortana for a long time. She's actually gotten kind of used to it, but it took a long time. Yeah, a lot of times I just get Cortana stoned, and so she calms down. Happy early birthday, Cortana! You hear that? You got a birthday coming up. She found the fountain of youth a little bit. Do I have a cat? Yeah. So Mrs. Twister has 3 of them. And it took a while until 2 of them liked me, but yeah, they've got their own personalities, they've got their quirks, but nothing replaces Cortana. Same with your dog, Rusty. Yeah, I think a lot of dogs out there, especially if they're like shelter dogs, like come on, you don't want them to have to deal with all that. Christmas concerts and fireworks in the streets were common. It's decreased a lot, and yeah. I mean, I still think people should, enjoy themselves on a day like that. Mrs. Twister, yeah, it's my fiance, but I just refer to her as Mrs. Twister. Oh, and the Sabres score. Bowen Byram wants to get traded. No, that's just a name I always hear about in trade conversations. So yeah, Bowen Byram's on the board. And actually, on the subject of on the board, Rangers and Capitals. So the Rangers have a goal. I'm going to do a little score update. So the Rangers have an early lead against the Capitals. Canadiens have lit the lamp against the Bruins. So 1-0 Montreal. And we've got that's all we have at the moment. Let's take a look. Not the signing. Oh, okay. So fans don't actually have a say on signings, but changes of stadium logos, anything that can impact the club financially. Oh, even like sponsors. Don't mess this up. Thank you, Vanessa. Much appreciated. She's fantastic. I always tell her, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure that you want to sign up for this with a hockey and football crazed lunatic like myself? Is that what you want to do for the rest of your life? It hasn't scared her away yet. Did I hear about the Bears? I know the Bears are looking at moving to Indiana now, which is kind of crazy. Not to mention they just had a heck of a victory. That's for sure. Is she a sports fan? I have converted her into a sports fan. Mostly, she wants to watch and follow it if it's with me. But yeah, she watches Vikings football with me, and she'll watch the Sharks with me when she comes home from work. So she's great. But yeah, nobody in her family follows sports really. Not that they're doing so good that they may knock off the Packers. Yeah, I saw the score was like 16-6, and I said, okay, well, this game's over. Not so fast. Well, Green Bay's got an interesting finish to the season. I mean, they got to play my Vikings with Max Brosmer as our quarterback. But yeah, we have a chance to kind of spoil, especially for the Lions. We get to spoil their chances of making the playoffs. I don't know if we can win either game, but yeah, it's been tough with Green Bay with the injury bug. That's for sure. But yeah, Mrs. Twister that's my fiance. Jordan Love's out with a concussion. but he might clear protocol. Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of panic around him not being in the lineup for the next game, which is good. Wonder who makes the playoffs first, the Sabres or the Jets? I mean, for the most part, even though the Sabres have actually no, the drought's been about the same. Actually, the Jets have the longer drought. I forgot about that, but I would say that I feel a little bit more comfortable having faith in the Sabres versus the Jets. I mean, honest to God, do they have who do they have? They have Garrett Wilson as a receiver, and anybody else on offense that I don't. They didn't have any Pro Bowlers. I know that. We got Russ in the building. What's going on, man? And by the way, guys, if you are not subscribed to Nothing Is Perfect, please do yourself a favor. You can even quit out of my stream. I don't care. Subscribe to our guy Russell. I'll be on his channel on Friday during the evening when the Sharks and Canucks face off. So Russ here is a huge Canucks fan and has been a supporter of our channel for the last couple of years and is a fantastic individual with a really cute dog named Dobby. So please, let's show some love and subscribe to Nothing Is Perfect. And to top it all off, I actually know somebody who's a punter for the Broncos, Jeremy Crawshaw. Oh, no way. Well, I hope that he got Pro Bowl consideration. Wonder what happens this first year the Bills win the Super Bowl or a Canadian team wins the Cup. Oh man, what do I have faith in more? This is a recency bias, but I'm more likely to have faith in a Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup, even though right now, who's the best contender for Canada? It's not a very good year for Canadian teams. But I almost would rather put faith in a Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup this year because the Bills, they finally don't have to go through the Chiefs, and they're going to find some way to goof that up. Although I'm excited for the AFC because, of course, you've got, the Bills. I've been waiting for them to win one. I do feel for them, especially as a fan of a team that also lost 4 Super Bowls. But I kind of love what's going on with Jacksonville. I've always liked the Chargers, even though I can't really root for a team that's based in LA. But I do love Jim Harbaugh, and I've always liked the Chargers since the days of LaDainian Tomlinson. So I wouldn't be upset if they did it either. Or hell, even the Texans. Bo Nix is a Pro Bowler. Yeah, that's not surprising. I think all 4 Minnesota franchises are in similar situations. They have the potential for at least a very good playoff run. The Vikings have what it takes to be competitive, at least. Well, they're always competitive, but oh my. That's a Ridley Gregg goal, so we've got ourselves a tie game late in the first period here. With 2:47 left. Imagine if the Oilers turn into the Bills, keep reaching the final only to choke. At least they get to the final. You got to credit them there, right? But to do that with one of the best players in our lifetime and not actually win one, that's a kick in the groin, right? Because name a better player who never won a Stanley Cup than Connor McDavid. I'm a huge hockey history fan. I love that. So part of you really wants Toronto to not win another cup just out of appreciation for that 67 team. I don't really know too much about that 67 team, but they were, of course, probably the team of the 60s in that era, right? But I wouldn't wish that on Toronto fans. I mean, shoot, 67 years. That's a lifetime for too many people, unfortunately. Yeah, try waiting for 108 years for the curse of the Billy Goat. Yeah, that's if you tell me right now that neither my Vikings or my Sharks would ever win a championship. If you told me that's my future, I would just say, well, I'm going to live for the rest of Cortana's life, and then I'm going to spare Mrs. Twister agony and drama, and so I'm just going to peace out and move on to the next life, and maybe book a meeting with the sports gods. But yeah, the it's been a horrible or a very agonizing 34 years for Minnesota sports. The Twins being the last team to win from the Twin Cities back in 1991, in what was to some maybe even the greatest World Series of all time. Certainly the best Game 7. But the Timberwolves and the Wild have never even made it to the championship round. I mean, the Wild haven't won a playoff series in over a decade. Not to mention, oh, I didn't know I needed a premium account to have a live broadcast on X. My bad. Well, okay. I got a new jersey yesterday. You mean a Devils jersey? By the way, the Bruins have tied it up against the Canadiens on a goal from Marat Hutsnadinov, his 5th of the year. So that's our micro update here. So we've got Montreal and Boston tied at 1 apiece. I might have to take Cortana out at the intermission in just a little bit. I got a Stars jersey. Oh, okay. So the star shaped one, like the new alternate, or the home jersey, or maybe you found one from an era past. I love the blackout jersey. It's too bad they're not wearing that anymore, but a lot of people don't like those. 67 Leafs were the over the hill gang. The average age of that team, or oh wow, really? That's something else. So who would have been on the 67 Leafs? Would that would have been like what, like Dave Keon? I don't think Daryl Sittler was on that team, right? Not yet, but they probably had a goaltender whose last name started with a B. It was probably Johnny Bauer. I don't know. That's my best guess. And then like Frank Mahovlich, I would think, but he wasn't that old when they won that. I don't think. Do I know about the curse of the Bambino? How long was it till Boston won the World Series? I think it was 86 years, if I'm just going off the top of my head. Yeah, that was one of the great turnarounds in sports, going from getting swept or no, it was a 7-game series they lost to the Yankees, and then reverse sweeping them the next year. That's unbelievable. That rivalry back then in the 2000s was incredible. I mean, like A-Rod, what was it? A-Rod getting shoved in the face by Jason Varitek, Pedro Martinez. Yeah, that was when I used to love following baseball. We've got depressed Kings fan here. What can they do to push ahead? I mean, I think that the Kings they got too excited when they were rebuilding. For them to go only 3 years without, 3 years in between making the playoffs. So from what was that, 2018 to 2021, I guess. I just think that while they got some good talent along the way, it just wasn't enough per se. And I think that you just need an elite player on that team. It doesn't necessarily have to be a forward or a defenseman, but you got to have a superstar. I think that would certainly help. I just feel that with the Kings, it's been 4 straight years of not too much of a difference, right? They haven't won the division; they've gotten in the playoffs, but then we see what happens. So I think I don't want to say that they need a rebuild, but it's just they've been kicking the can too much with very similar pieces. Let me know if you have any input on that. We reached the end of the first period, by the way, so the Senators able to tie things up late in the period. Oh, we got Cortana here. There she is. Wait, you were just in your bed. You were looking so cute. Dork. Let's see here. If this was on Discord, you could see it. Let's see here. The neon green blackouts. Yeah, the neon green blackouts were dope. Why do they glaze McDavid so much without winning anything? I see many fans and media having them in their top 5 Mount Rushmore. No, he doesn't. He shouldn't be there just yet. I think winning a Stanley Cup would get him in that conversation by the end of his career. So I think that's too much of a stretch. But in terms of his talent, I think he's the most talented player I've seen in my lifetime, arguably. Does that mean he's the best player in my lifetime? I would say no, but he's still very much in that conversation. Just the way that his style of play has, I think, helped the NHL come out of what was sort of a low-scoring, less speed-driven era. Even as we got into like 2010, I mean, when McDavid came into the league, he was very influential on how the game changed. It's not just him, but I think about him and Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar. I know those guys have championships, but McDavid to me will still be probably, even if he didn't win a Stanley Cup, he would easily be probably one of the best 20 players of all time. I wouldn't be so comfortable going past that. Marcel Dion never won a Stanley Cup. Joe Thornton never won a Stanley Cup. Henrik Lundqvist, Carey Price. Like, these are some of the greatest to do it, and the last couple of guys I talked about, some of the greatest to do it since I've been following the sport. And I just think that they get unnecessary criticism for not actually winning something that is a 20-person effort. And sometimes you have teams that are really talented, but they're just not built for the playoffs, and you can't just put that on one player specifically. Not to mention, McDavid is the reason why the Oilers were one game away from winning the Stanley Cup back in 2024. Vanessa, have a great Christmas. Get some sleep, though, okay? Cortana Cam, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when she stays there. She's actually here. I could actually do this. Let's see if this will get her. Dumb question, but what makes McDavid better than Crosby or Ovechkin? I mean, those are different players, so it's hard to be able to say, this person is better than that. With Crosby, first of all, his defensive game is among the best that we've seen. He's in that conversation of like a Patrice Bergeron or a Pavel Datsyuk, or not too far beyond that. Crosby's had success at every level. What he's done with like the Winter Olympics, right? And the World, I think, did he win a World Juniors? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And he's done that as a captain himself. He's won 2 gold medals as captain of Team Canada. And he's won Hart trophies just like McDavid has, right? It's that his game is as complete as we've ever seen in our lifetime. So we got Tommy Boy in the building. Greetings, good evening to you. But yeah, I would say that you can't compare McDavid and Crosby, but also you have to understand that McDavid still has many great years of hockey left. He's only 28 years old. He'll be, I think, 29 pretty soon. By the way, please, guys, if you haven't already, a thumbs up on the stream would definitely be appreciated. But Ovechkin is a pure goal scorer, but he's the most dominant goal scorer that's ever played, unquestionably. His intimidation as just a goal scorer, as somebody who's going to shoot the puck, or as somebody who's going to hit the crap out of you. I mean, he is, I think, worthy of being in that conversation right now. I'd say, if we were to rank the 10 greatest players of all time, would I have Alex Ovechkin in there? Even if he's the greatest goal scorer of all time, I'd probably say no, but he still probably has to be not too far behind, because what's the objective in hockey? It's to score goals. And when you can just step on the ice, go to a position, fire a shot, and you're making it 25% of the time like that. And when you're the captain of your team and leading a team to the Stanley Cup as well, and your game goes to another level, like Ovechkin's did in 2018, he played at an exceptional level there. I think that, yeah, he absolutely does deserve credit as probably the best winger of our lifetime. I think that that's pretty fair to say. I think a lot of people also forget how amazing Ovechkin was to start his career, because he was winning awards just like Crosby, just like Evgeny Malkin, and just like Connor McDavid at that stage in his career too. Longevity and consistency, most power play goals in NHL history, broke the tie with Gretzky last year. Yeah, I think that we should also consider people's. We should look at how good they were in their prime, and then we should also see what they were able to do as their game matured, as they got older too. Somebody like Corey Perry, I don't think that he should be a snub for the Hall of Fame, because I'm not saying he should get in, but the guy won a Hart Trophy. I don't care about the Stanley Cup as much because he wasn't as much of a factor, but those Ducks were competitive for the longest time, in part because of him. He won the Hart Trophy, and then later on in his career, he actually found a way to kind of reinvent his game so that he was more of a sort of like net front presence. He wasn't getting as much ice time, but he was able to, I think, disrupt a lot of plays out there, and he's been super effective in that role, and I think that needs to be celebrated as well. Well, that's not fair, Kazuma Tempest. I don't see that's a great question, because you know why it's not just a question, it's something that encourages discussion among us too. So and of course, I don't think that I have the definitive answer on this. I want people who have a remote interest in the sport to come here and ask questions just like that. I have no problem, giving my thoughts on it. But yes, Merry Twistmas to you, Russell. Appreciate it, man. And of course, I'll see you on the show on Friday, when the red hot Vancouver Canucks look to overpower my San Jose Sharks. Bruins, by the way, take a 2-1 lead. Alex Steves. I have no idea who Alex Steves is. Oh no! Oh no! I accidentally deleted my banner that had all the scores. I am so sorry. Recreating that's going to be a pain in the butt. What's up, girl? Here, I'm just going to see if Cortana needs to go outside. Do you need to go outside, girl? What's going on? Come here. Hey, bully here. What? There's nothing else there, you goof. Come here. Do I get a kiss? Don't knock over the camera. Watch out, girl. Cortana. I don't know what to do with that one. I cannot believe I knocked over the freaking scores, or I deleted the scores, and I almost knocked over the camera too. Oh shoot, I didn't have the camera on. The Battle of the Ocean Apex Presidents. Yeah, Kraken, you're not part of that conversation. I was on the Discord stream. Yeah, that's right. So for anybody who's not part of our Discord, there should be a link in the video description, but you can join our Discord, and we have not like a huge following there, but it's cool because we all chat about hockey in between my live streams here on YouTube, and so it's a good spot to hang out. And again, you don't have to be a diehard or anything like that to have a good time with us. If McDavid never wins a cup, where would he be on my all-time list? Well, I said earlier, I would probably still consider him for, I think I said, even if he didn't win a cup, I think that he would, to me at least, be in that conversation in the top 20 of all time, really. Because I think that he could still have, let's say, he probably has another 6 or 7 seasons with at least 100 points, and he's not going to put up that. He's going to be scoring 120, 130 points on average. And the Oilers are still going to get into the playoffs because of what he can do. So, I mean, nobody's done that since like the mid 1990s, right? So that is certainly what he can do in this era is head and shoulders above what other players can do. Although we do see occasionally like Nathan McKinnon's on pace for like 140 points. What about 6'7"? Oh, I 6'7"? Oh, I didn't know I 6'7" there. That's right. I dip in from time to time. All right. Well, you're always welcome to come back. Um, but yeah, I'd say that McDavid has a good chance, even without a cup. I'd say that he could probably be in the conversation of being one of the best 20 players of all time. Uh, if you want to say what about top 10, the only reason why I say no is because if I did a top 10, you'd have to have 5 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders, or 4 forwards, 3 defensemen, 3 goaltenders. Like you gotta represent all the positions out there. So yeah. You'd go to California if your mom gets her cash. You mean you'd want to go see a game in San Jose or LA or Anaheim? Hell, you could even take a trip there and have a rental car and go to Vegas really quickly too. I mean, if you're in Southern California. All right, let's see here. Hopefully, the folks on Instagram are able to see the stream. All right, LA, if you get the chance, hang out on the beach there. McDavid, top 20 without a cup, top 5 with one. I mean, I would say maybe top 10. It's hard because if I rank the top 10 players of all time, I've done this not officially on the channel, but I'd say okay, my top 5 or my top 10 players of all time would be, of course, Gretzky, Lemieux, because Lemieux was the only one who could hold a candle to Gretzky, and to some was even better. Bobby Orr is the most gifted defenseman of all time. Gordie Howe was the greatest play. Excuse me, Gordie Howe was the best player before the '67 expansion, and it wasn't close. Uh, so how people say they're Mount Rushmore, right? Would be Gretzky, Lemieux, Howe, and Orr. And I would actually say Sidney Crosby probably makes a case to go in there as well. So he could go ahead of one of those players probably. So that's 5 players right there, right? And then, okay, we haven't talked about any goaltenders, and I don't think that we have as much appreciation for some of the greatest to ever do it, in the sense that we weren't around to see them play. So Jacques Plante is probably the first one I think of there. Ken Dryden is the other. And so if I had a top 10 and 2 of them are goaltenders, I could easily argue that Jacques Plante and Ken Dryden should be the 2. But that's excluding Waugh, Hasek, and Brodeur, who has all the records, right? And then if we add another defenseman or 2 to the list, I'd probably say that Nick Lidstrom deserves strong consideration. Doug Harvey, probably, who was way before our time, and I would think that Ray Bourque would be another one as well, or even Eddie Shore. I think Eddie Shore won like 3 Hart trophies as a defenseman. Love this guy, Battle of Quebec video. Hey, thanks so much. I love that. Making that video was so much fun. It's probably been one of my 5 favorite videos to make on my channel. So thanks so much. I just wish that we had a Battle of Quebec to watch today. But we will see the Avalanche wear their Nordiques throwbacks in Montreal, which should be a lot of fun to see. Start, bench, cut, Hasek, Brodeur. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Yager. I'd say Yager would be like more top 20. I think that sometimes he gets kind of overshadowed, kind of like Malkin's been by Crosby. But yeah, oh boy, start, bench, cut. I'd say this is so tough, because how can you cut the guy with all the records who had the greatest longevity of any goaltender. I'd say that prime Hasek was probably the best of them, and that's my bias because Dominik Hasek's maybe my favorite player who never played for my favorite team. I'd probably say like start Hasek, bench Waugh, cut Brodeur, but with Waugh, if I have to win one game, if it's game 7 and I have that choice of goaltenders, I'm going with Patrick Waugh. I think you could probably say he's the most clutch goaltender of all time. I mean, late in his career, 2007, he's going up against Martin Brodeur in the Stanley Cup, and I can't remember if it was a shutout. I think it was like 3-0. Instagram disconnected the stream. They currently disconnect streams after 1 hour for most users. No, oh, it's awful. Whatever. I don't need that. I don't think we had that many people joining. Actually, some people were joining. They just weren't commenting, or at least I don't think they were. If I go to a Kings game, I'll be on the side of the Kings. Start Waugh, bench Hasek. I'll be sad about it. Cut Brodeur, played behind. Excellent defense. I think that works against him. You know, it kind of overshadows just how excellent he was too. How would I? Oh, Egginator, did you have a follow-up question for me there? Just let me know. But that's a really fun that's a fun debate. Like I love when people come in and we have just fun conversations around this. No, like I'm not right. I didn't watch those players that much growing up because I wasn't into the NHL nearly as much. Let's see here. I actually like that list, especially with goalies and defensemen. Something you don't see in soccer because you just choose goal scorers, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's why you have to consider Sidney Crosby as maybe even at the end of the day, his NHL career may have been even more impressive than Gordie Howe's. And I have to stress NHL career because Gordie Howe, in many respects, is still the greatest hockey player of all time, just because the guy was 52 and still playing in the NHL, but he did miss several years in the 1970s because he was absolutely crushing it in the AHL, or AHL, WHA, excuse me. If the overtime goes to a shootout, then Hasek starts. But if it's a continuous OT, then Patrick Waugh. There we go. I can agree with that. All right, let's see here. Can I show you guys some scores in the meantime? Let's take a look here, huh? I appreciate you guys. You guys make this very smooth and enjoyable for me. I can make things even more enjoyable for myself with another beer, but we'll see. Let's take a look. Can I share my screen here? We've got. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we got Rangers and Capitals tied at 1 apiece. I don't know why I jumped to that game, but the Caps have tied it up. There's somebody who might not make the Hall of Fame, but a lot of people are going to say he got snubbed, and that is John Carlson, who's had probably one of the most consistent careers as a defenseman and has been one of the best offensive defensemen and underrated defensively in his career. His 8th of the year there. So Red Wings and Stars, Rope Hintz, his 12th of the year. James Van Riemsdyk gets his 9th for Detroit as they look to stay atop the division in the Atlantic Division. Then we've got Bruins over the Canadiens 2-1. A couple of guys I'm not very familiar with. I actually do like Husnudinov, but I've watched very, very little of him. And I don't even know who Alex Steves is. Hurricanes hang on 1-0 against the Panthers so far. A goal from Eric Robinson. Brett Pesce gets on the board, his first of the year, because I guess he's missed a ton of time. Oh, we've got a gifted membership. Hey, Kazuma Tempest, courtesy of YouTube Canucks legend Russ, aka Nothing is Perfect. Well, shoot, I got to give Cortana a treat for that. Let's see here, Cortana. Here we got the Cortana cam coming in. That's really all I had for the score updates. Oh wait, girl, you're gonna come over here, or am I gonna get here? Here, Cortana, go lie down. Can you go lie down, girl? No? Okay, you're confused. That's okay. All right. Well, thanks so much, Russ. Here, let's give a treat to Cortana here. Go. Treat. All right. Thank you, girl. And thank you, good sir. I always appreciate that. Your dog is like that as well. Cortana is also, she's a smart gal. I think she was thinking, where do I go? I'll just wait for my human to tell me. Maybe not Hall of Fame, but certainly Hall of Very Good for John Carlson. Yeah, I think that'd be. It's kind of unfortunate, but at the end of the day, at least he has a Stanley Cup championship to his name. And yeah, really just kind of one of the most consistent defensemen we've seen. All right. So 12-11, by the way, the Sabres have the edge in shots on goal. Really, honestly, even with an audience of this size, I haven't even really been paying attention to this game, although I probably should because Jack Quinn nearly scored. But yes, you guys have been giving us all great questions and pointers. Oh, and a save by Lyon off that chance from Stutzla, by the way. Uh, Me and Jaws are the only hockey channels I enjoy. Oh, well, that's well. I hope I would say that you should probably add a third channel there because Russ and his community of Canucks fans would certainly make the cut for you. I think, as would other Canucks YouTuber Clay Emo. And I know that you're not a Canucks fan, but hey, if you want a different flavor of hockey YouTube, I think that those are two fantastic additions. But thanks, and of course, it's always great, chatting with Jaws. I haven't talked to him as much recently, but like when I was doing a lot more with YouTube, we were talking to each other basically every day, and it was so fun getting to actually spend some time with him and Kyle last year as well, and hopefully I can make it back over there again later this year. I might. Hopefully, I have a chance to go see my grandma. She lives near where Jaws is. We got Samantha in the building. Hello, Merry Twistmas to you. The Maple Hills world. I don't know what that is, unfortunately. But then again, I'm getting to that point where I can't keep up with pop culture. I'm getting a little long in the tooth. Yeah, Yeah, I can't say I know what that is. But yeah, the Hurricanes now have a 2-0 lead. Carolina better not get a 3-0 lead. You know what happens in that case. Uh, but yeah, that is a goal from Andrei Svechnikov. Oh, nice for Svechnikov to actually want to score a goal for a change. It's a cartoon hockey book. Okay, that's cool. There's also a hockey alphabet book that if I ever have kids, I am certainly going to acquire that book. I almost gave it to my nephew, but I don't know if he's going to be that interested. But yeah, I'm doing great, Samantha. How about yourself? What are your plans for Christmas? Are you going to do anything fun? I hope so. You got Sens on a parlay. My prediction for tonight was the Senators would win. So I'm going to stay optimistic. It's going to stay a close game. It's not going to be a blowout, but yeah, I'll stick with the with Ottawa for this game. I mean, I got the good juju rolling here. I got the old alternate from the 2010s. Got the Eric Carlson right here, by the way. Icebreaker is about a hockey player and a figure skater. I see. Okay. So we got a Sabres power play. That's dope. Yeah, thank you. It was funny. I was actually on a trip in Oregon at an Airbnb, and I had I had this jersey delivered there, so I could do an unboxing for the channel. All right, here's power to the dot. Quinn shoots, and off of Shabbat, gets worked back to the point. And now to the other side where Brian McLeod is, former Edmonton Oiler. So Buffalo holding the zone here. And power. A lot of puck movement around the perimeter. Now down to the goal line. At the dot, Quinn thought about the shot, draws a defender down low, shot and into the pads of Ullmark. Still alive, though. Senators trying to get the clear here. Stripped. Quinn getting around a defender and a blocker save from Ullmark. And now Power works it to the top of the circle. A shot and easily into the glove of Ullmark. No traffic there. You're going to go to your grandma's house. Awesome. That's great to hear. I'm sure that she'll love spending time with you for that. What was for dinner tonight? No, haven't had dinner yet, but I'm probably going to heat up some pasta leftovers. But yeah, we'll take care of that once the stream is over. Second period. Oh, thank you, Samantha. Samantha always makes astute observations so that I have my have correct information here. Thank you. All right. There we go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Let's see here. Any other score updates? We got the Devils on top of the Islanders, by the way. So, Brett Pesce did score. And I think that's the only update. But we'll take a look more at the commercial break. Yeah, as far as Christmas dinner goes, I'm not doing any cooking, but I have a bunch of brownies. No, they don't have any wheat in them, but I have a bunch of brownies that I ordered from Ohio, strangely enough. It's from Buckeye Brownie, and they take like cookies and other sweets, and they actually layer them into these giant half-pound brownies that they bake. So I'm going to bring those over to my future in-laws, and we're going to play some card games, and I might watch my Minnesota Vikings probably get crushed by the Detroit Lions, but we'll see. I got an ad for the Miami Winter Classic. Are my jerseys still available for sale? I haven't been trying to sell them recently. I guess, if somebody sends me an email, I'll tell them what I have. But I'm not really trying to do that right now. Actually, I have a jersey coming in the mail next week. It's my first NHL jersey in I don't know, at least a year, I think. Penguins lost today, Tommy Boy says. So just seeing what else happens across the NHL. Yeah, it's a very busy night. That game, I had no idea that game was happening so early. But the Penguins, it's the third period has been their Achilles heel this year. I mean, I was so elated when my Sharks came back to win that game recently, but I mean, if I was a fan on the other side of things, I don't even know if I could really forgive the team the next day. I would still be, just venting frustration about that. Ethan says, "Merry Christmas, Cortana." Actually, we got Cortana in her bed right now. There she is. Everybody say hi to Cortana if you haven't already. On the prowl for wildfire in Jacksonville. Hopefully no fires. The Twisted Wrister jersey for sale. Yeah, so we are selling these. Here, I'll pull it down. So yeah, you can actually buy one of these if you click the link in the video description below. There should be a link down there. So these, I think, go for $70. None of that actually goes to me. So for people who are interested, I certainly encourage you to buy the jersey no matter what. But if you do have it in you to kick a few bucks back to me, I appreciate it, because I did work with the vendor to get this in their online store, and I did order this as a proof too. So, but yeah, this is a fun jersey, and you can get it with whatever name or number that you want. We got $10 Canadian from Russ. He says, "Merry Twistmas. Talk to you soon." Here, we'll give Cortana a treat before you go, if you don't mind. All right, girl, ready? Nice catch, Cortana. I'll see you on Friday, Russ. Merry Twistmas to you. And we got a Buffalo goal. And it's somebody whose numbers I don't recognize. It is Noah Ostlund with the goal for Buffalo. And I hope the playoffs are a hell of a ride. We've got Ethan dropping dropping a 2. Throwing down the deuce here. Cortana, here we go. 2 in a row. Ready? All right, here you go. And she's 2 for 2. Thanks so much, Ethan and Russ. There we go. Right on. So we'll update the banner, of course. But yeah, the Sabres have held the zone pretty consistently to start this period. Lots of hockey left, though. Over 13 minutes to go in the second period. We got Sports Geeks. What's going on? Hey, good to have you here, and a Merry Twistmas to you. And you gotta like the Flyers are still staying alive in that division. It's a huge logjam in the Eastern Conference, but you probably heard me talk about this on a previous stream. I'm still very impressed by how the Flyers are playing. So, I mean, Ethan, maybe earmuffs, but if there's somebody who hasn't made the playoffs recently in the Eastern Conference who's going to get in, the Sabres are on a tear right now, but I've got a little bit of a soft spot for the Flyers, believe it or not. Don't ask me about the Eagles, but the Flyers, I can show them some love. My grandma's originally from Philly, so there you go. And we hit a commercial break. I guess it's a good time to show you some other scores from around the NHL. Canadiens, for example, they just tied it up against the Bruins in a Atlantic Division showdown. So check this out. We've got 2-2 Montreal and Boston. Ivan Demidov, his 9th of the year, so he's basically on a pace to score about 20, 21 goals. So that's good for him. Capitals and Rangers tied at 1 apiece. No scoring changes in the second period. Almost the end of the period for the Red Wings and Stars. They're knotted at 1 apiece. We got the Devils 1-0 over the Flyers. Islanders. Sorry, I saw orange. We got the Hurricanes, who absolutely blew it not too long ago against the same team. But the Hurricanes are up 2-0 there against Bobrovsky and company. And then, of course, look at that, guys. We got tons of games happening later this evening, and hopefully you get a chance to enjoy some of that if you're still awake for that. But, of course, I'll be watching the Sharks and the Golden Knights as San Jose looks to bounce back after a disappointing, not a terrible, but a disappointing performance against the Kraken. And what was before then, I thought, one of their better games of the year, despite losing in regulation against Dallas, who, by the way, I've been standing firm. My pick to win the Stanley Cup is still the Dallas Stars. I would love for the Avalanche to win another one, though, as a fan of Brent Burns. All right. Hurricanes really put themselves in a barrel going up 2-0. It's not 3-0, but I get what you mean. But yeah, I saw some comments after that game, and it's like, yeah, things have not changed for the Hurricanes in that they're a good team in terms of work ethic, but they need more than Jordan Martinook out there to be nasty. They just don't have that, and I think that a lot of people are pointing that a lot of that's just coaching, and I kind of see that myself too. As much as I like Rod Brindamore, I no matter what, I don't think that even if they get to the conference final and lose again, I think his job should stay safe. I think that team plays so freaking well under him, but there's still one or two things that need to be adjusted for them. What did you miss? The Sabres just scored a goal, so now it's 2-1 Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo! And the Sabres now have a shot advantage of 19-14. Yeah. I don't think I saw this earlier. Sports Geeks. I'm really impressed with how well we've played. I really can't complain. One thing, I wish we could figure it out. Wish you can get Ayrton figured out. Goaltending with Philadelphia, right? I don't need to say anymore, but I'm glad that you're at least satisfied with the direction that they're heading in. It turns out that Zegers trade worked out pretty damn well for them, so that's good. and I hope they can stay competitive through the course of the season. Excuse me. Hurricanes without Brindamore missed the playoffs for 10 plus years. Exactly. And I think that that team plays better than their individual talents. They don't have an elite goal scorer on that team. I mean, Aho, he just hasn't been able to take his game like one level further, and that's fine. But they still need, at the very least, they need that bona fide second line center. But yeah, you can't say that they're chokers or anything like that. Carolina's been more successful in the playoffs than anybody else not named the Golden Knights, the Oilers, or the Hurricanes the last 5 years. Or excuse me, or the Panthers. I wanted to say Golden Knights, Panthers, and yeah, like very few teams have been more successful than Carolina, and that's not exactly a free agent destination either. They're both working as counselors at the same camp. One summer in band camp. Yeah, and I know that there's that series right now. Oh, Ricky, I didn't see you early there. First time viewer, how are we doing tonight? Am I a Sabres fan? I'm not a fan of either team. I mean, we do live streams for as many different teams as we can. So I don't have any skin in this game, but I wanted to actually try to watch a little bit of a game because I just haven't really gotten into either of these teams ever since I had a YouTube channel because they've largely been out of the playoff race. But Sabres have been mostly dominating this period, so that's good. And yeah, you got a goal from Östlund, so there goes the depth, right? That's a good thing. But yeah, I appreciate you joining us here. And the goat head is, oh, they score right from the slot there. It was point blank, and Tim Stützle has tied it up at 2. Vladar's playing really well. Yeah, so I hear. All right, guys, you know what that means. Cortana gets another goal treat. And here we go. Here we go. Ready, Cortana? Oh no, wait, go. Okay, fine. She's coming over. It's her habit. She didn't stay on the bed. Let's see. Here you go, girl. Come here. There you go. That's a good girl. Come here. Can I get a kiss? Kiss? Good girl. Harrison either needs to go down to Lehigh Valley or get traded because you can't deal with him. Oh, damn, it's that bad already, huh? That is a bit of a disappointment. Did I update? Yeah, I updated the score. The Zegers trade, gotta love it. Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of credit I've seen distributed to or attributed to Danny Briere because he has actually done a really nice job of just from a financial standpoint, making sure that any new contracts are very reasonable. So I haven't followed them very closely at all, but from a bird's eye view, I mean, it seems that things are paying off as a result of sort of the cleaning up that he's done from previous regimes. So all the credit, or definitely got to give a lot of credit to him. And of course, Rick Tocchet. I just think he's kind of had he hasn't been in the best environments in terms of coaching the last couple of go arounds. He was with Arizona. I thought they let him go way too early. At one point they looked like they were going to be in the top 3 in that division for a number of years, and then with Vancouver, I mean, that's not sure. You can maybe give a little criticism for how the locker room fell apart, but it wasn't because of him. There were egos on that team that just they weren't a fit when they were all together. So that's not so much on him. Seems like our best shot playoffs in a while. The East is so tight this year. Well, that's the challenging thing, right? But the good thing is that in that division, there isn't one dominant team. So it's about, hey, can you play above 500 against the rest of the teams in your division and then beat up on the Western Conference teams? Then your chances are going to be pretty good, going into the home stretch of the season. So, I mean, this is another team where I will believe it when I see it, but of course, I'd like to see some new teams in the playoffs from both conferences this year. But in the case of the East, when you have that many who are still very alive in the race, it's like, why not Buffalo? Why not? Like, I'm glad to see Detroit's going to probably get back into the playoffs. I really do hope so, because watching hockey in the 2000s and 2010s, I mean, it doesn't feel right if the Red Wings aren't in the playoffs. But yeah. Briere's done an excellent job with Philly. Drafting Michkov was an excellent move that paid off earlier than expected, and the Zegras trade has worked out. I don't know, like what's Michkov? What are his numbers? I mean, I saw him getting into an argument on the bench, which sometimes that's kind of taken out of context. He's got 20 points in 35 games, and that includes 9 goals. I don't know. That is it. That doesn't seem the most promising, but there's still very much untapped potential, I would say. Ersson is 5-4-4 with a 3.11 and a save percentage of 867. Oof. Dean, what's going on, man? Just got off work. Thought I would pop in. Thanks for doing so. And here's to a very competitive matchup tonight. And may the best team win, right? Maybe we'll actually get like our second win ever in Vegas in the regular season. But I appreciate that, man. And Merry Twistmas to you, of course. And man, 49ers and you and the 49ers have completely proven me entirely wrong this year. It's amazing that Kyle Shanahan has them in a playoff spot, and my Vikings, even though we have Max Prosmer, pray to the birthday boy, baby Jesus, that my Vikings get a win against Detroit. Hopefully we pull it off. I don't care so much about draft positioning. I just want to make our division rivals playoff situations as bad as they can be. He was close to a point per game as a rookie with Tortorella. The eye test shows he's a world-class talent. Sophomore slump this year. Kid will be fine. I mean, look at Bedard. He didn't have a sophomore slump. It's just that the goals weren't there, and now look at him. So I'm hoping that's the same thing. But you're watching them more closely than me, so I'll take your word for it. And sometimes guys just have bad puck luck. No Eichel, no Theodore. Vegas looks mid. Hopefully it'll be a good game. 49ers doing the improbable. Yeah, that's crazy. The NFC West, you could have 3 teams with 12 wins at the end of the year. You got lost at 2 hours at a competition you went to. Was it? I mean, sounds like it was at like a convention center or something. Convention centers can be mazes. All right, how much time? We've got 8:27 left in the second period. Buffalo with a 19-15 shots advantage. I didn't know Eichel was out though. That is substantial. Stone 27 points in 18 games though, so he's still producing quite a bit since coming back from injury. Something with Ersson needs to figure out. You're really sick of seeing him underperform. Really seems like when he's in net, you lose him with Vladar. We have a great chance. Do you guys have any decent goaltending prospects? I mean, I don't know who the last highly touted goaltending prospect was for the Flyers since Carter Hart, really. At a state park. Okay, well that says a lot right there. The Niners still have a shot at the 1 seed. Really? Unsung heroes go to Mac Jones. Any other quarterback, the Niners don't have 11 wins and in this position. Wow. So he's kind of doing what Sam Darnold did last year for my Vikings. Granted, he was expected to be the starter, whereas Mac Jones was head relief Purdy. But Purdy threw, I think, 5 touchdowns in the last game? All right, actually, answer me this, folks. What would be your preferred Super Bowl matchup for this year? In the big game, I should say. Yeah, what Super Bowl matchup does everybody want here? Bills versus Eagles. What if Aaron Rodgers somehow went on a crazy run as like a 42-year-old? That would be that. Then if he actually won another Super Bowl at that point in his career, I mean that would be like he'd be even older than Peyton Manning when he won one with Denver. We got Eddie in the building. Yeah, Eddie. Long time no see. Merry Twistmas to you. And how are the? If I'm correct here, you're Eddie, right? Your team is the Devils, right? So they are 1-1 against the Islanders. Brett Pesce getting his first of the year, so it's good to have him in the lineup. Actually, how many games has he played now? Because he missed. Oh, he's been back for a while. Okay, got it. Panthers and Broncos. Yeah, Carolina. Yeah, Carolina's been roughly where I hoped they would be this year. Um, I'd love to see two teams that never won play against each other. Bills and Lions. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Lions are in jeopardy of missing. Throwback to '95 when the Chargers and Niners played in the Super Bowl. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh going up against the Niners in that stadium where he was coach for a few years. That would be crazy. Markstrom gave up a freebie. Oh yeah, you have Allen as your backup. That's right. Alexei Kolosov, who in 2 games, he's actually played already, but he's been pretty unbeatable statistically, so that's good. All right, well, but then again, I don't know how young he is. Goaltenders take a while to develop, so hopefully he's ready when Philadelphia is ready to start, making a push for some real big names out there. I mean, Zegers was a good step in that direction, right? I don't know what my dream Super Bowl would be with the teams that we have right now. Other than the 49ers, I mean, who do I like in the NFC? I mean, I'd be okay with the Seahawks because I do like Sam Darnold, but I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind if the Bears made it. Honestly, even as a Vikings fan, I'm fine with the Bears. Bears versus like Texans. I don't know. Ben Johnson versus D'Amico Ryans' defense. Hart's going to be in net tonight. Oh, really? Thoughts on the ECHL strike? That hate to see what's happening down there. Good question. I mean, I had I think I saw a tweet about like how much these players are making more or less, and that's unfortunate for them. Putting their bodies on the line. I know they choose to, of course, have that profession, but that is disappointing. I mean, I think there needs to be the NHL Network. I know does like an okay job showing some support for the AHL, but I think there needs to be a little bit more of a partnership that bridges the gap between the ECHL and the NHL. Because like, I have no incentive to follow the Wichita Thunder as a fan of the San Jose Sharks. I don't even really follow. Like, I don't think anybody where I live knows about the Idaho Steelheads because they're in the other part of the state. But still, it's like that's probably the most well-known sports team that we have semi-professionally, apart from like Boise State college athletics. So, but yeah, that's unfortunate. But I hope that that leads to some improved negotiations. I guess just not Green Bay. Exactly. UConn women's team fan. Hey, what's going on? So, were you a Hartford Whalers fan back in the day? I guess that's probably the first question I'd ask. By the way, if you guys haven't already, I can't remember who put it out. It might have been Sportsnet, but there was a really cool feature on what is it called? Matthews Arena, which will be torn down in like a month's time. Matthews Arena is the oldest hockey arena, indoor hockey arena in the world, where Northeastern's been playing. But there was a great feature on that. I didn't really know all too much about it, but the Bruins actually started as a franchise playing games in there. All right, we got another commercial break here. Still 2-2. I follow the Everblades. Yeah, the Everblades have been the class of the ECHL for most of the last like 4 or 5 years, easily. There's a lot of ECHL hockey in the South. Uh, go Solar Bears, I guess. I actually got to go to one of their games many years ago now. But yeah, we got this. I got the Solar Bears. I don't really follow the Steelheads too much. For some reason, X doesn't show me their score updates, but they should. I do have. I don't know. I don't really follow ECHL too much, but one day, maybe I'll go see a game in Lake Tahoe where the Night Monsters play. I love Lake Tahoe, so I mean, I can't go the rest of my life without going back there. Why would they tear it down? There are some structural issues with it that they just can't seem to solve. Unfortunately, they tried doing a lot of work on the outside of the building, but that hasn't helped enough. We're talking about like probably foundational issues. The Everblades owner actually was the one who purchased a majority stake in the Penguins. Really? Wow. I wonder how they. I guess that's something that should be studied, right? Like how have the Everblades been such a good program, and how does that translate to how they retain their ticket holders and drive merch sales and of course attract sponsors. That's probably the biggest piece of all of it, right? I mean, it's interesting seeing that there's been a strike for the ECHL because they've expanded a lot in the last 8-9 years. We got Trevor in the building. Hey, what's up, man? Merry Twistmas to you, and hopefully the Hurricanes can actually hang on to win a game against the Panthers. But it's good to have you here. Night Monsters is a fun time. So are you a season ticket holder still? Because I thought you had season tickets for like the first season, but I know it's a little bit of a drive for you, right? Because you got to drive around the lake in that case. A big follower of the Wilkes. I'm gonna call it the Wilkes B Scranton Penguins because I don't even know how that is. It Wilkes Bear, Wilkes Bar, Wilkes Barre, Wilkes Barre. I actually have a beanie of theirs. I'd like to see more shows fans show out. I'm sure that they will for the teddy bear toss. If you haven't, well, I guess they already did that. Uh, because when I think of Pennsylvania hockey, that's like if I'm not talking about NHL, I'm thinking of like teddy bear toss with Hershey and with the Penguins as well because one of our channel moderators lives in that area. Very impressive to three-peat at a lower level. When you win the lower leagues, everyone's promoted to higher leagues. Yeah, like imagine that happening I think in the AHL, it would be even more impressive. The Stars neon jersey has a cool feature. Yeah, I like just about everything with that jersey. That's such a cool jersey. But I understand that people don't like the neon green. Like a lot of people don't like that. Pardon. Okay, Capitals and Rangers right now is 3-2. So Washington takes the lead, excuse me, on a goal from Alexei Protas, number 13 on the year for him. One of the biggest players in the NHL, by the way, at like 240 pounds. Oh, just got a post in this game from Ottawa. I didn't get season tickets. I'm about an hour and a half away. I didn't know it was that long, but I mean, I guess that makes sense if there's no like easy highway to connect them. It's Wilkes-Barre. Okay, Wilkes-Barre. It's a shame the Canes have been doing really well, but all anyone seems to talk about is the Panthers. Yeah, I mean, you can say this about some teams in sports where it's like, oh, it doesn't matter until they have to play X in the playoffs, right? It doesn't matter with the Oilers until they actually beat the Panthers in the final. But I mean, what they achieve is wonderful. And nice pass to set up. I don't know if that was Batherson, but that was stopped by Lyon to keep it a 2-2 game. It says come and take it on the intercaller. Yeah, that's super cool. But yeah, with Carolina, they've done a really good job this year, especially considering having Slavin out for most of the year, and now they're gonna have to do this without Jarvis. I'm scared at like how much time Jarvis might miss. Jarvis has kind of become my favorite player, not on my favorite team. He's an excellent player, but having that I don't say he's not an entirely pure goal scorer, like he can do other things, but having that goal scoring out of the lineup, that hurts a ton. It's nice that Ehlers it took him a while, but it's nice that Ehlers has been picking it up just fine. The debate over the Barry is the biggest debate in that city. Oh, I would think nothing less. They're not even talking about Brandon Bussey. Yeah, Bussey's been incredible. I haven't gotten to watch them enough this year, but yeah, he's been really good. I think what they should do is, and it might not be popular, but I think they should probably if Kachek, let me take a look at Kachekov's numbers first of all before I put my foot in my mouth essentially. We got Kochetkov 899, 2.33 goals against average. Right, it's Carolina. I don't know if you get to the trade deadline and Anderson hasn't picked it up, they should probably just move on from him. I don't even think he should be their starting goalie in the playoffs. I'd rather have somebody else. Is the live chat thing that's in the bottom corner? Yeah, this is my first time ever doing that. I just wanted to put that on there in case we had people like viewing from other platforms. I tried to do this on Instagram earlier and then it cut off after an hour, which is kind of unfortunate. But I just wanted to make sure that if people were tuning in from Instagram or even from X, which that didn't even work out either, that I could actually see their messages. I just wanted to give that a chance. But I can actually, you know what? There we go. Since we're just doing YouTube, I'm glad you brought that up. Now that it's just YouTube, I can probably just hide it now. Been going to a ton of new hockey arenas this year, trying to get to all the AHL arenas in the East outside of Charlotte and the teams north of the border. All right, so what's been your favorite experience from all of that? Yeah, Tommy Boy, you hit your nail on the head. Like, I think Carolina is very unfairly treated in the hockey community just because they can't beat Florida. Because, like I was saying, what was that 15 minutes ago? Like, how many teams that can you name in the last 5 years that have been as successful as Carolina? I get it. They haven't even gone to the Stanley Cup final, but they've won a lot more playoff rounds than teams that are expected to go deeper in the playoffs and have better star talent than they do. Yeah. What should you get at the hotel snack bar? I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to pay $5 for a bag of M&Ms, but what I like to do is I like to get something like M&Ms and then combo that with something like basically it's almost like you're making trail mix. Get a pack of almonds, roasted almonds. Layla, we got Layla in the building. Hello, good evening to you, and Merry Twistmas. And let us know your favorite team. But yeah, if I were you, Klutz, I would probably go with some roasted almonds, get some M&Ms, and combo them together. It makes for a nice treat. And speaking of treats, I've got Cortana. She hasn't gotten a treat in a while because there hasn't been a goal in a while. So let's give Cortana a treat. Favorite arena has probably been Lehigh Valley or Hershey. Yeah, I mean, I got to go see Hershey at some point. I've actually been, but I was a kid. New subscriber. All right, let's give Cortana a treat because Layla has joined the Twister Wrister family as a subscriber. Come here. Oh, what a good girl. All right, here. And how about another treat just because you're a good girl? All right, good girl. Yeah, I'd like to go see one day. This is like if I had a sports bucket list, I would probably have at like number 7 or number 8, it would be to go to the Teddy Bear Toss game in Hershey. But tickets for that are like several $100s if you want a pretty good seat. It's crazy, but I mean, the whole arena is covered in plushies. Your brother told you only a cake. Well, you didn't tell me that cake was available, so I mean, that's kind of hard to beat. I'm more of a pie guy myself, but a scratch near her eye. Oh, that's just a like a tear mark from like moisture from her eye. It's not an actual scratch. At least my my lady would have told me if it was an actual scratch, but she's been referring to it as a tear trail. So she's doing great though. Even though she had her knee surgery in February and hasn't her knee hasn't been quite the same, like her leg or hip, something there is not optimal, but she'll still play fetch and she still has the energy, despite being 12 years old at the start of next month. So she's doing really well, I think. New hockey person. All right, cool. Well, we certainly welcome people who have even the slightest of interest in following this game. This is a great game. This is a great community of fans. And even though I'm not actually a Senators fan, I'm just wearing the jersey because they're playing tonight. But yeah, hey, hope you get into the sport even more, and hope we can, play a role in that. Oh, a Coke. Oh, why did I say cake? Wishful thinking. Cake and Coke. That doesn't sound so bad right now. Like give me a slice of coconut cake and a Coke. That would definitely hit the spot right about now. Did I see Puka Nakua saying concussions are not real? It's all in your head. Okay, that I did not know about. I knew about something else from like last week. I haven't followed the whole story, so I have no real opinion on it. And frankly, I don't really care too much. I don't really follow the NFL anywhere near as closely as I've followed the NHL. Um, so, but that's he should work for Gary Bettman, shouldn't he? So all he got out of it was a Coke. Glad to hear about Cortana. Thank you. Yeah. The best thing about hockey right now are the fights and Wes McCauley. Hey, yeah, Wes McCauley uh, is a performer. But yeah, the fights. You don't have nearly as many fights these days, but I'm always entertained by that. How about them Seahawks this year? When that offense is clicking, there's no team better in the league. Well, shoot, the defense is super good too. I did not know that team was going to have anywhere near as good of a defense as they've had. I mean, the Rams are the Rams. Like Sean McVay, he's a genius, right? But Seattle's defense this year has been really good. And I'm not a Seahawks fan myself, but I mean, I would be happy to see Sam Darnold at least get a playoff win. Yeah, folks, I'm actually going to run to the restroom so I can go take, as Peter Griffin would say, a wicked yes. I will be back in just a moment. Okay. So hang tight, guys. Okay, thank you for your patience there. There've been a lot of liquids, so maybe a little bit longer than average of a delay there. Um, well, anyway, not sure if we have any beer enthusiasts, but one beer that I wasn't expecting to get out here out west that I've had before a few times is Founders, which I think is in Michigan. I think it says so on the front, and I just haven't looked. And this is Founders Dirty Bastard. Is a delicious dark ale. It's a Scotch style ale, so it's going to be very strong. I was very pleasantly surprised to see this in my store over the weekend. It's 8.5%, and we'll see if it's as good as I remember it to be. So I'll pour this guy, let the head settle here, and enjoy a few sips. Born and raised in Canada, but if I were to get into hockey, I don't know if I'd be a fan of a Canadian team. Well, I mean, a Canadian team hasn't won a Stanley Cup since 1993. But I am a San Jose Sharks fan myself, being from that area originally. But of course, I can make the case as to why you should be a fan of just about any team. And sometimes it just takes scrolling around or clicking around the different games, and sometimes you see one player, you lock in on that player, and you think, wow, that player is really exciting. They're carrying their team this game, and then you just become a fan of that team. But if you have any questions about that, if there's anything I can do to help you figure out if you want to cheer for a certain team, and it's cool if you want to just cheer for a couple teams. We have a lot of people in our community who have multiple favorite teams. Devils are 10-2-0 with Brett Pesce in the lineup. Really? Holy God. People don't realize how valuable he is. It was a big deal when they signed him in the offseason. I remember that. And with Carolina, he was a very solid defenseman. I think that it was kind of like he got overshadowed at times by, like when Dougie Hamilton was there or Jacob Slavin later on. But yeah, he's been a very good defenseman in his career. You're in St. Louis right now. Well, welcome. Hello, Jake. Good to have you joining us here from. I was just trying to have a clever way of saying the Gateway City, and maybe you'll get in some taking some Blues games when you're there. I'm not sure, but Merry Twistmas to you, and go Sharks. Hopefully they can get a win against Vegas tonight, and hope your travels are safe and swift. All right. Yeah, we'll see how this Scotch ale goes here. You're in a layover. Oh, okay. Where are you headed off to? Favorite player of all time? Hey, that's a great question. Says E-Dog. All right. Well, as a Sharks fan, it's kind of a 1A, 1B. It's probably still Joe Thornton at the end of the day, but Yevgeny Nabokov would be right up there. I bet you in 5 years, it's probably going to be Macklin Celebrini. But my favorite player, not from my favorite team, would probably be Dominic Hasek would be probably number one. Huge TJ Oshie fan. He'd be up there. Ovechkin would probably be up there for me. Nathan McKinnon, when all is said and done, is going to be up there too. And yeah, doing that for every team would be a fun video too. Your brother's a Flyers fan, but you can't get into them. Not yet. Hey, I think they've been a very competitive team this year. I don't know about the brand of hockey they play, but I've seen them a couple times, and they're tough, tough to compete against. So I certainly admire the way they're playing versus previous years. Did I see the renovations of the X? Oh, the XL Center. Excuse me. I thought you meant. I was thinking of XL Energy Center. No, I have not seen that. Are those recent? Great choices. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, who is your all-time favorite player? The Panthers are killing you. Uh, they're like a real life cat play when they feel like it, or how about cuddle when they feel like it, unless you wrangle them into submission. Flyers are up and up, and again, Michkov is a world class talent, worth the price of admission. And sometimes, I think sometimes the best way to get to or to selecting your favorite team and becoming a diehard fan, being there for the difficult years and just kind of appreciating it for what it is. And I know that's not for everybody, and that's fine. But I'm finding my that right now with my Sharks, they're having their first like encouraging season in 6 years. And I'm having the most fun I've had in a long time because I don't expect them to be all that good, and then they'll come out and surprise me. Or even if they lose, there are sometimes lots of things that I take away and I say, "Hey, this is great. Like we're ahead of schedule, we're competing, right?" So, different strokes for everybody out there, but yeah, you got to admire the job that Philadelphia has done because nobody had them finishing any further than probably sixth in their division this year. You're going to Florida. Okay, cool. We got a lot of people who are going to be in Florida over the holidays. And Merry Twistmas. Hot damn, that beer is delicious. I love that beer. Um, that's even better than I remember. That is sweet. Eric Carlson, no doubt, he got into hockey. Oh, well, did you see what I'm wearing here? There we go. Um, I didn't really watch Carlson all that much with Ottawa, but when he was a Shark, even though he was not that great for most of his time, what he did in that Norris Trophy winning season, which was 3 years ago, that made my time that was worth my time as a fan. He was my return on investment. And then we traded him and got a first round pick as part of it that we used to get Sam Dickinson. So I will fondly remember his time for what he did that year specifically. And yeah, he should be a Hall of Famer when his career wraps up. And I know that his defensive play has not been amazing, but yeah, it was a huge deal when he came to San Jose too. Like in San Jose, there was a billboard that somebody bought or bought a spot for, 30 minutes away from the stadium or something, right when he arrived in San Jose. It's going to be your next jersey. I hope so, because this is a great jersey here. But yeah, can relegation work in the NHL? The only thing is that I'm not convinced that people would. I don't know, man. The worst NHL team losing out to the best AHL team. That sounds like such a foreign idea to me. I just don't know if I can get behind it because you have, especially because the arenas are so much smaller. If you go one level down, some arenas are bigger, but like the San Jose Barracuda, right? You don't want the San Jose Barracuda getting moved up to the NHL when they play 10 minutes away from the Sharks in a building that only has 4,000 people. You don't want to create that sort of riff in the market like that, or like there is in, like Winnipeg with the Moose, or even Calgary, Vancouver, even. So I don't think that would particularly work. Devils broadcast blows it out of the park each and every night. Dan is a fantastic, or Don, yeah, and then Danico is top tier color commentator, and Bryce and Rachel are really good at what they do. I don't really know too much about their booth team, but I've always liked Ken Danico a fair bit. Your Ohioan grandfather likes the Penguins. Yeah, I mean, there was growing up. Of course, he didn't have anybody in his own state to cheer for. And Corey Schneider joins the broadcast sometimes too. Didn't know they had a whole billboard for this dude. Yeah, yeah. There was one that said "Welcome to San Jose, Eric" or something like that, and that was out like off of Highway 280 in like Hillsdale or something. Hillsborough, excuse me. Hillsdale is on 101. As a person born and raised in Canada, who now lives in the States, your family is a huge Tate McRae fan, and apparently she's dating Jack Hughes. Plus, you've watched them a lot. I think I might root for them. Plus, one of their rivals is the Flyers. So you and your brother are going to have a really fun time conversing around that. So that's actually a pretty fun choice. I'll give you that. Let's see here. Before that year, I thought he'd plateau and walk into the sunset and retire, but man, that year with Carlson in San Jose was special. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure that somebody, whether that's Quinn Hughes or Cale Makar or even like Evan Bouchard. Like somebody's gonna, get through that barrier and break 100 points. But for Carlson to go from like being maybe like a 50 or 55 point guy on the Sharks with the injury troubles he had, and then he goes to 101 points was spectacular. And he won them. He won them so many games just by just being an absolute wizard. I still think that, in hindsight, it was still bad for the Sharks in that they couldn't win a cup with him. It's the reason why they lost Pavelski in free agency, right? But I like to. I'm somebody who often does look on the positive side, and it's like, hey, at the end of the day, he made one season really fun, and he got us Sam Dickinson, and we'll see how Dickinson pans out. But at least the way that things ended up was what I remember. All right, let's see here. We're at the start of the third period, by the way. Of course, the score being tied at 2. I know we've had a lot of chats come in, so I'll jump into those in just a moment here as I update banner so it shows that we're in the third period. Next jersey you want is Carolina or Chicago? Oh, dude, I want that Chicago black jersey. Do I like the idea of the draft lottery, or should they do the NFL format where the team with the worst record gets it automatically? I actually like the draft lottery. I like that occasionally a team can win it out of nowhere, kind of like the Islanders did this last year. Because at the end of the day, the teams that are the absolute worst, at the very least, they get a top 3 pick, right? Like the Sharks, last couple of years, even if they didn't get first overall, the worst that they could actually get is third. Like they actually have a rule in place for that. So I don't mind them having those little modifications, right? Or maybe if you finish with the 7th worst record, there could be a guarantee that the worst that you get in the lottery is 10, something like that. Guys, have I had a moose head? At some point, I think I have, but that would have been an eternity ago. Because like Moosehead, you might be able to get it on draft. Can you get it on draft in NHL arenas? I think you probably could in some, but I mean, I would usually just, I'd go for like Gordon Biersch in San Jose because that's brewed there. Like that's what I would go for when I went to games. But at some point, I think I've had like maybe one Moosehead. I've had a Labatt. I think I've had one, but that was probably in college. Looks like, yeah. All right, Jake, have a great Christmas. Safe travels. Maybe the Devils, but I'm still searching. When I get more info, you may choose a forever team. But for now, it's the Devils. There you go. Or who knows? You might want to say, hey, I like the Devils, but I'll also kind of like Calgary if you like Tate McRae. So there you go. I would find relegation interesting, fighting down to the wire instead of tanking for draft picks. And yeah, that is a really cool dynamic. I just can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it happening. Like somebody said, the owners would never allow that. And you already have AHL teams that are playing in the same city or same area as the NHL team. So I get it. All right. I think I'm caught up. All right. What else is happening around the league? We've got Stars now have a lead over the Red Wings. So it was 1-0 for a long time there, or 1-1, I should say. Wyatt Johnston gets another power play goal. I think Wyatt Johnston has scored like 3 goals, 5-on-5, and everything else is on the power play. Canadiens and Bruins are still tied at 2. Rangers and Capitals. Caps have a 3-2 lead there. Panthers have scored a goal. Niko Mikkola, just his first of the year. I don't know how many games Mikkola has missed. Excuse me. But that guy totally earned his contract in the offseason. So wait, Mikkola was a goal-scoring machine at one point in the playoffs last year, and that's just his first of the year. He only has 5 assists on the year. Whoa, what a night and day difference. But I thought he was really their unsung hero in the postseason last year. And then we've got tie games apart from that. Wild and Predators are also tied at 2, with the second period getting underway. And for anybody who's curious, Quinn Hughes has an assist in that game. How did the Panthers go from lovable underdogs to villains? Nick Cousins, Matthew Tkachuk. I can see, I can see some of the hate there, but really that's playoff hockey. That's how you get it done. The top three is loaded. Minnesota would lead any other division in the league. Insane levels of play from them. Yeah, but I can't take Minnesota seriously until they win a playoff round. If they win a playoff round, then perhaps we can say that they're a true contender. And I know I mentioned this a lot earlier in the stream, so you probably weren't around, but I got to see if Winnipeg, even though I don't see them as a true contender normally, I got to see if they actually make a push and can actually flirt with getting into the top three in that division. Love the Panthers in 23 since they memed the Bruins in historic fashion. Yeah. I actually watched highlights from that game a few days ago. I don't see Minnesota beating Colorado or Dallas. Yeah, Minnesota can never beat Colorado. I think they've won one playoff series against them. I don't know. Do I think the NHL will eventually follow the NBA's lead with an in-season tournament? Probably not, just because we had the success of the Four Nations tournament, and so I think they would probably want to capitalize on that, or they would want to have the World Cup of Hockey. I think we're going to have another World Cup of Hockey. So, considering we have a major tournament, whether it's World Cup of Hockey or we have World Juniors for a very small group of NHL players, but you also have the potential of the Four Nations, because that was a huge success, and we also have the Winter Olympics. I don't think they would do another in-season tournament with the NBA. When they do the in-season tournament, that's very opposite of the Summer Olympics, for example. Whereas you don't want to have that conflict with the Olympics every 4 years, or conflict with the Four Nations tournament. We're less than thrilled to see the Panthers keep winning. I want to know what happened to Florida. They don't look good. I mean, as of a week ago, it looked like they were figuring things out. Let's see. I would love the NHL to do an NBA or a soccer style tournament where the winner of each country faces off with each other to see who is the best in the world. Only problem with the NHL is that I don't know how many real contenders are there, internet. If we're talking about like Winter Olympics or country based tournaments, it's going to be Canada, and then you got the U.S. is in the mix, Sweden, Finland. Those are the Four Nations teams, and then you've got the Russians. Hopefully, they get allowed back into competition at some point. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I wish that I just don't know if I would be all that excited if we allowed more teams into a big tournament like that when we already have something like the Winter Olympics. Maybe I'm not understanding that correctly, but I think that in terms of the flavor or the offerings of international competition with hockey, I think there's room for improvement. But I think there are a lot of tournaments that people enjoy following already, even if they are spaced out over the years. Club level, the Panthers facing the winner of the Swedish or the Russian league. Oh, okay. Hey, they at some point you got to start with something that you don't know too much about. So why not? If we're not going to do a Four Nations, like a Champions League kind of, right? I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think that it would probably the first time it would have to be held in Canada or in the States to get some draw. Do we really need an All-Star game? Yeah, I mean, I think that the All-Star game is something that kids, especially kids who are in hockey programs, like they get into that, right? We don't care about it quite as much. And I mean, like, I kind of get that. I went to an All Star weekend 6 years ago, well, almost seven now. Damn, time flies. In San Jose, and I had a good time. But like, do I really remember the games themselves? Not really. I didn't care about that. The skills competition is pretty fun, though. I thought, and the fan fest was pretty enjoyable too. We already do stuff like Four Nations or World Cup of Hockey. Yeah, I'd rather have more like tournaments than something that doesn't really count toward anything. Or what we should do is it should be like the MLB All Star Game where the winner gets home field advantage for the World Series. We should do something that's like higher stakes like that and have a legitimate game, a legitimate NHL All Star game, 5-on-5 and everything. Panthers versus Red Army. There you go. Skills competition. You think has gone downhill? All right, we got 13 minutes left here in regulation. Run for the hills. I certainly like Run to the Hills. If anybody knows who the artist behind that is. Connor Brown has been an underrated pickup. Yeah, he had an awesome year for the Oilers last year. So I hope he can pan out at that level. That would certainly be worth the contract. Or instead of All Star, they could do American versus International. Hey, that would at least be something different. All right, we got a commercial break going on at the moment. Take a look at some other scores from around the league. The Panthers, look at that, everybody. Big surprise. The Panthers now have a 3-2 lead over the Hurricanes. 12th of the year for Anton Lundell. That's wonderful to see. Luke Cunnin also gets on the board for Florida. So now they're up 3-2. Capitals and Rangers are now tied at 3. Same thing with the Stars and the Red Wings. So some interesting developments over the last few minutes. Early Stanley Cup final pick. I'm going to hold. So my Stanley Cup final pick was actually Stars defeating the Devils. With New Jersey, I have to see really how they play with a healthier lineup, or at least one that has Jack Hughes in it down the stretch. So I would still stick with Dallas, even though Colorado is way ahead in the standings and way ahead of everybody else. I still think Dallas is the most complete team in hockey. From the East, it becomes more difficult. I mean, if they get in Florida right now, I would probably pick. I know it's not a very creative pick, but they know how to know how to play playoff hockey. And do I trust the Hurricanes? Sure as hell don't. What if they have to play Florida at some point? Tampa Bay has they've had another strong regular season, but like again, to represent the Atlantic from that side of things, you got to go through the Panthers. I'm gonna assume that you have to, so I can't choose them. So basically, the question is, which team from the Metropolitan Division do I trust beating the Panthers? And right now, I probably don't trust anybody. Although New Jersey was the team that I did actually have going in my season predictions video. I missed the third goal. Been back and forth with my stream in the game. With oh, you're not talking about this Buffalo Ottawa game, right? Because still 2-2 here. All right. Without meaning to be overly pessimistic, how do I think losing a third consecutive final would impact Edmonton if they make it that far? I need to see what their contracts look like for next year. But the good news is that, of course, McDavid and Draisaitl will be on the roster together for another 2 years. Um, I just don't know if Edmonton can free up enough salary cap space to sign somebody else who is going to make a big impact. The free agent class going into next year is not that good. Edmonton does have like one or two good prospects that could get more opportunity on the team next year, but I think that you need more help in terms of defense and goaltending. And again, I don't think that they have a good enough market in the offseason to where they can get that much impact that way. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't know, they'll need to get really creative and make a sizable trade. I just don't know what good pieces they could give to another team to receive something back that's going to help them that much. I haven't looked at their situation, so I know it's not a great answer, but I don't think that they would panic. It's just that they need to be creative with actually making a trade or two, changing one or two players in the lineup where they really do try to gamble to get that difference maker, I guess. I need to watch the Red Wings and Stars game, or you need that game to end so you can watch the Flyers game. Well, right now we have 4 minutes. Oh wait, the Red Wings just took the lead. Detroit's up 4-3 over Dallas. Hot damn. So you had Edmonton over Florida. I didn't pick the Oilers this year. Cats score again. Oh my God, it's 4-2. Jesus. Oh, God, this like the Hurricanes are up 2-0. You're the Hurricanes. You can defend. I know they're without Slavin. That does not help at all. But like you cannot lose a 2-0 lead when you just got embarrassed in the third period of the last game. Oilers are heating up after their slow start. Tell me you haven't heard of this before. Yeah, right. But now it's with what Calvin Pickard and Connor Ingram as their goaltenders. And I'm not talking about Connor Ingram from like 2 years ago. Playoff format, yeah. If the Wild finish the season the way that things are going right now, and they have one of the best 5 records, and they still finish third in their division, I would be surprised if the NHL did not change up the playoff format. But I really do think they need to change that up. Hot take: Avs losing round one. It's the year we see upsets return to the playoffs. I mean, I would absolutely love that. Especially with how things have been recently, where my Sharks are kind of in that last wild card. If my Sharks be the here, Tommy boy, how about this? How about this? Clip this. Take a screenshot of this, Tommy boy. If my San Jose Sharks make the playoffs and win a playoff round, even if it's against a team that's not the Avalanche, which it would have to be against them, if not maybe somebody in the Pacific, then I will get you a Twisted Wrister hockey jersey, customized with whatever name and number you want on it. I was really close to saying I will name my firstborn kid after you, but let's not jump too far into the future. A team like San Jose would be a nightmare matchup. Well, I'd have to ask, did you see the last game? Because the Sharks got their doors blown off. I think we've beaten Colorado like one time in the last 6 years. But give me Celebrini to if he gets in the playoffs, I could see Celebrini going to a level we haven't seen so far, even in his second season. He's been pretty amazing. So then it's over. Wings win in overtime. Oh, was that? Oh, that was in overtime. That's Dylan Larkin. All right. Congrats to the Detroit Red Wings. Zero pressure, wild card goaltending, and Macklin is unreal. Yeah, like Askarov standing on his head. That would be, I guess, kind of like a wet dream of a season for me. But hey, just to see my guys competing the way they have been for the most part, it's been a lot of fun so far. But that'd be wild. I mean, shoot, if can Askarov pull off a Cam Ward type of run? Maybe. I mean, that's not that many games, honestly. But if the Sharks actually make the playoffs, I'm gonna have to do something. Like I'll have to do live streams, but also Mrs. Twist. I can't watch the Sharks without Mrs. Twister for the playoffs. So we'll have to find a way to make this work. But there's many months ahead before the playoffs even start, so anything can happen. But that would be insane. Because like really, guys, the Sharks made the playoffs in 2019, and that was I did cover that a little bit on the channel, but since then we haven't even been anywhere near the playoffs. But anyway, I'm sorry if anybody asked a question in the last couple of years, or last couple of years, in the last couple of years, in the last couple of minutes, you can ask it again. That's okay. I'll try to answer it. Let's see. Third Stanley Cup defeat could either be another setback or imply a reset behind closed doors. Well, I mean, I think it hinges on McDavid. Like he only signed a 2-year extension because to him and his agent, that's kind of like their true window. That's the prime of his career. After that, he's got a few excellent seasons. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of the team overall, he's probably arrived at the conclusion that he's willing to let it to stick it out for 2 more years after this year for that chance. So I think that for the Oilers, it's more like okay, we committed to McDavid for 2 more years past this next year. So no matter what, it's about what he thinks needs to be done here, and he's going to give us those 2 years to make it happen. At least that's kind of that's the mindset that I would have going into that next year. It's kind of like, look, we're the management. We have a vision, but we have to work with McDavid on our front. And if he says that we need to dump a bad contract and give up the future, even if he's not part of the future, we'll do it because we've invested in him this much. Yeah. Okay. I did catch up. So you want to rub it in your friend's face. So wait, Klutz? What's your favorite team then? That might have gotten a little lost in the shuffle here, as the Rangers have taken a 4-3 lead over the Capitals on the 8th goal of the season, just the 8th goal for Alexis Lafreniere, who has played the whole season so far and only has 8 goals. Panthers are on a power play with a chance to make it 5-2. We'll see about that. Oilers off to a 1-0 lead. Okay, Tampa Bay. Okay, that makes sense. One of the NHL arenas I have been to. Random tangent. Cam Ward had one of the weirdest careers for a goalie ever. I mean, shoot, I already think of him as kind of like the Matt Murray, right? Cup and a Conn Smythe as a rookie, another conference final, 3 years after that, yeah, and no other playoff berth in 14 seasons. Yeah, and like I can't remember if he ever got into like Vezina consideration, which it's not easy when the team in front of you isn't that great. But Cam Ward, yeah, Cam Ward, the highest he ever finished for the Vezina was 7th. So 2011 was his last like really good season, but then he played for Carolina for a long time as well. It had a 2.65 goals against average, not bad, and a 908 save percentage. Those are actually pretty respectable numbers. I mean, he was probably the furthest reason why they missed the playoffs all those years. We got Tiago joining us here. Pens lost today, not a great day. The Penguins and the third period, they go together like oil and water. It's been very difficult if you're a Penguins fan. So I don't want to see them lose games like that, unless it's against my favorite team. But that's another topic. Favorite arena that I've been to? So I've been to, of course, San Jose, which we'll take out of the equation here. I went to the Coyotes arena like back in the late '90s, but I really don't remember that so much. I've been to Boston, Tampa, Nashville, Raleigh, Carolina, and I think I'm leaving out one other one. But I'd say that probably my favorite arena that I've been to is Nashville. I like the vibe quite a bit there. That's about it. The next arena that I go to, I've been to Climate Pledge Arena where the Kraken play. I like the actual arena once you're inside at your seats. I don't like the concourses there, and the food to me was pretty underwhelming. That was the first year. I know they probably have changed things up a decent amount since then, but I didn't think too much of that until I got to my seat, and the audio there was really good, I thought. But in terms of overall experience, I would say Nashville. You and Klutz, you've been there. Yeah, the next arena that I go to, one day I really do want to go to Calgary, especially just to see the Saddle Dome because it is the second oldest arena in the NHL, and that's only a 7-hour drive away, so not too far if it's not crappy on the road. But yeah, there's that. There's Utah is not Utah is actually pretty far. It's like an 11-hour drive. Excuse me. Had an argument with a Canes fan. Told you that the Panthers are dirty and paid the refs. Well, I mean that's football. Told him at least we don't choke. Yeah, at least you don't choke, which you haven't really done. Good thing the Leafs at least they took you to 7 games, but you guys held your own. The fans show up, send them the numbers that they are 12th in attendance. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. And then he proceeds to block you. Really? Over like you did not make a personal insult at him, did you? I don't think you did. That's that's goofy. Like, hey, I've been a fan of a team that where you have to just kind of hold your tongue because you have no arguing. You can't make an argument to the other person because they're the one whose team has the upper hand. You have to kind of just take it and just say, look, this is not a personal dig at me. I'll be okay. My team eventually will figure its crap out. I'm not going to overreact. But yeah, like for him to block you after that, that's kind of lame. You didn't, at least as far as I know, you did nothing wrong. So look, some people are just really sensitive. Hey, we got Eric in the building. What's going on, man? Anime nerd, of course. The avatar I instantly recognize. I don't know why YouTube is using the username you made when you made the account. Yeah, I can't say that I haven't created a new account in quite a while, but nice to have you here. And Merry Twistmas to you, of course. I've never been to a hockey arena before. Whoa. I hope you get the chance. I hope that I don't know what your holiday plans are, but I hope that on Thursday you rip into something and boom, it's a couple of tickets to see the Philadelphia Flyers. I think that'd be fantastic, but I hope you get a chance to make it very soon because hockey in person, see, a lot of people don't get into hockey because they say, I can't really follow it on TV. It's not very fun. I can't track the puck. But then you say, okay, that's fair. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to this game and it's going to be a totally different experience. And then they will never stop thanking you because hockey is, I think, without question, the most enjoyable sport of the major professional sports in person. Really, it is. Soccer is fun because of like fan atmospheres with the chants, just constantly the tifo, right, setting off flares and fights and stuff like that in the stands. But really, hockey is the most complete fan experience in sports. All he did was give proof and didn't insult him. Yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate. I mean, Canes, I went to a Canes game last year. It was a very just friendly, approachable vibe. No extremes on either side. But yeah, online, and I mean, every fan base is guilty of this to some extent. But like, I'm like these Canes fans. I'm like, yo, you guys aren't like this in reality. Like these trolls, right? Yeah, they're just like it's apparently when they came out of the womb, they were flipped the other way and fell on their head or something. And I like the Hurricanes a lot too. And we've got a decent amount of Canes fans who show up here. Of course, no problems with them whatsoever. They're always very cordial, to use a good word that you used as well. I've never been to a hockey arena either. Hope to go to a Penguins game one day. I hope so too. I sincerely do. Even though times are challenging for the Penguins, Pittsburgh sports fans are among the most passionate sports fans in the country. I like Nashville because it gives you more food options. Did I have any food when I went to the Predators game? I might have. That was a long time ago, but the Predators have probably the best location of any arena in the NHL. It is right next to freaking Broadway with all these music bars and just a good nightlife scene over there. And Nashville's fun. I want to go back. That place it's a good time. It's one of my favorite cities I've been to. Playoff hockey is the thing that the sport can offer the best. I will die on that hill. Absolutely. Playoff hockey, though, like that becomes more than just a game. It becomes a bit of it's kind of a war, honestly. Oh my God! What a save by Alex Lyon. He's on the ground, backs on the ground, and he sticks his glove out and stops a shot from I didn't see who that was. Alex Lyon, the Lion King. Oh, we are not worthy. A lonely skate back to the bench if you're Drake Batherson. Nothing beats a soccer game, especially rivalry games or World Cup games, but hockey is close second. I've seen pro soccer in Italy and in Denmark as well. I think the experience is a lot of fun. If you don't care so much about the actual game itself, because for me, I like hockey more because there's enough scoring, whereas in soccer, I don't think that there is at all. But it's been a long time since I've been to a pro soccer game, so hopefully I get a chance to do that soon enough. I could go to a World Cup game, I guess, because Seattle's like a 5-hour drive and they're hosting some matches, but that's probably not in the cards, honestly. Your dad is thinking of taking you on a trip to Chicago in May. Chicago in May is actually a really good time to visit too, because it's not like super hot and sticky, and it's not like thunderstorms. You're coming in just before then. It's very pleasant. When he's interested in going to a Blackhawks game, I had to tell him that unless the Blackhawks make it to the playoffs, well, you got to go to a day game at Wrigley Field. Yeah, a day game at Wrigley Field is awesome. I love it there. At least 15 years ago, I did. I've been to a bunch of those, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like hockey is very similar to soccer, but more goals, faster pace. Carolina and the Rangers would be cool to go to. Shoot, it's been forever since I saw the Rangers in person. By the way, the Panthers, in case anybody was curious, is that game final? Not yet. Yeah, the Panthers are up 5-2. Oh, God. Brendan Moore's he's gonna have to. I don't know what's gonna do to get him to change, but that is kryptonite at its finest. Everybody, like a Real Madrid Barcelona game, playing for the league in the last game of the season is nerve wracking. I bet that would be. Yeah, actually, my friend who's from Panama is gonna officiate my wedding next year, and he's a huge Madrid fan, even though he's from Panama. Come here, girl. But you cannot say the word Barcelona around him, or else he will probably pick up and powerbomb you. Day game at Wrigley Field was the second option if the Chicago Wolves of the AHL make it out of the playoffs, or make it to the playoffs. Excuse me. If you have a rental car, you can get to Rosemont. I don't know. I can't remember Chicagoland quite as well as I used to, but it's easier to get to Rosemont than Rockford. That's for sure, because Rockford is basically like in Wisconsin at that point. Cortana, what is it, girl? There have not been enough goals in this game, have there? I'll give you a treat. Sure. Come here, girl. Yeah, you good girl. Yeah. I'm like him. You're a Madrid fan, and your whole family is Barcelona. Oh, really? That's crazy. By the way, we're under 2 minutes left in this game, and actually, the Senators are on a power play to close things out. So let's see if they can actually score here as we get to the end of regulation. Which, remember, guys, like both these teams have nice winning streaks at the moment. Panthers game is over. 2 points. 2 points. All right, man. Well, congratulations, and man, I'm just shaking my head as a Hurricanes supporter. All right, Stützle, the top of the circle, looking everywhere, looking for his options. Slapped out by the Sabres, though. That is cleared all the way down. Rosemont's by O'Hare. It's like 2 hours west of the city in the airport. Oh, Rockford's like 2 hours. Yeah. Rosemont. Yeah, if you could probably hop on the train and get there if you can get to O'Hare. All right, Senators. Sanderson, Whitefish, Montana native. He's got the one-timer and a save by Lyon. Puck's still alive, and that shot goes a little bit high and wide of the net. And here's Tim Stützle. This game might go to overtime. Only 23 seconds left, so probably right. Never been to a Panthers game where they've won. It feels like a curse. Well, I mean, when was the last time you were at a game? Was that like 6 or 7 years ago? All right. Well, hey, guys, by the way, I really do appreciate you tuning in here as we're in the week of Christmas. And hopefully we can line up another one of these really early to start the new year. So stick around. I've been working on a career video for a very notorious but Hall of Fame worthy player. Tiago joining the members crew. Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, Tiago, I'm gonna hook you up, or I'm gonna hook up Cortana with a treat here. Hurricanes cannot hold a multi-goal lead against the Panthers. Yeah, God only knows how many times that's happened in the playoffs too. Let's see here. Let's get this one for Tiago, okay? Oh my gosh, what a good girl. All right, well, Tiago, I will set up a member stream probably for the weekend, maybe not the weekend, maybe about within the next 10 days. I'll try to set up a member stream for that. So thank you. All right. Consider it a Christmas gift. There we go. That sounds good to me. Obrigado. Yep. So yeah, Tampa. If you're a Tampa fan or a Carolina fan, your common enemy is in South Florida. Football parking for community service. Oh, for the Buccaneers. Okay. So you actually like direct people on like where to park. That could be stressful. I bet. That's probably one of the least enjoyable things about sports. It's getting out of the parking lot after a game. All right, are we officially in overtime here? I want still 4-on-3. So the power play actually carries over into overtime, albeit for a very brief period of time too. All right, so start of overtime, 9 seconds of power play time. Wait, why do I have my BRB screen? There, I'll just do that. There we go. All right, Senators gain the zone. but we get a whistle early on. It might have been an offside. Tuck is the one sitting in the penalty box, by the way. Vegas Golden Knights expansion draft pick Alex Tuck, who, holy God, that guy, every time Alex Tuck and the Knights played the Sharks, Tuck would have at least 2 points every game, it seemed. Chugging a can of Mountain Dew for fun. That sounds like when I was young. All right, Sabres win the faceoff, though, so they can just hold on to the puck. And now we're back to even strength. But remember, it's going to be 4-on-4 until the next whistle, and then it will go to 3-on-3. So here comes McLeod. Onto the wing. He'll fire to Byram. A shot. He scores! I have no idea how that went in. That must have deflected off of somebody. Allmark was completely fooled by that. I think what happened there, it might have gone off the defender immediately in front of Byram. Bowen Byram had himself a game tonight. So the Buffalo Sabres have won 7 in a row. All they needed to do was fire Kevin Adams, and this team is now hotter than a fox in a forest fire. So, Sabres, I know some people are going to bounce. Please do leave a like if you could please before you go. Antes de salir. TK, Travis Konechny just got a goal. Well, Bowen Byram, BB, former Colorado Avalanche, Bowen Byram. Yeah, he just didn't get good wood on the shot. And that might have ramped. Yeah, that looked like that ramped up Sanderson's stick right there. But that was really impressive by the Sabres. But winning that faceoff was really key for them to be able to have possession of the puck. So Buffalo, they move up in the standings, and they're right in the thick of it in the playoff race now. So let's show some appreciation for what they're doing. And hey, whether it's them or the Senators, just to have some less familiar representation in the playoff picture would be awesome. Well, anyway, folks, I'm going to be signing off now. I want to wish you all a Merry Twistmas and happy 2026. We will reconvene hopefully very soon after that, if not before. And I hope you guys have a good time with those who are important to you. Thank you for the super chats, for the memberships. I always appreciate that. And Cortana, do you want one more treat? I didn't give you your overtime treat. Let's give Cortana one more treat, okay? All right. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great time. And yeah, we'll be back to talk hockey soon enough.